everything turned out for the best, and left that hospital with our 5-week premature baby. And for the next 9 years, pretty much lived daily with some chronic health issues that were really, really frustrating to me. A lot of them happened to be in association to the Lyme illness, and probably a lot of it had to do with compromised immune function and candida overgrowth in my body. So I had, a lot of typical symptoms like the brain fog and the joint pain and the chronic fatigue and low blood pressure and low body temperature. I had hypoglycemia, I had chronic digestive issues, I had constipation, my hair was falling out, my thyroid was going wonky on me, chronic skin rashes, you name it, I dealt with it. So in order to start taking care of my family better, I needed to start taking care of myself. And so I went on this like crazy binge. We threw out every bit of junk food. In fact, my children helped me. We put a box and we threw out every single bit of junk food that was canned or boxed in our house. And we put in 2 huge gardens and started doing everything as organic as possible. We've got a little hobby farm. And even through all of the efforts of living holistically and organically, I was still not feeling well. So I went back to school to become certified in natural health. And it was actually in school that I was introduced. And I poo-pooed it, you guys, big time. I didn't understand it. I thought, no, I'm really not interested in this. I'm doing what I'm doing for school, and we're learning about products at school. And I was literally, she kind of, she was faithful in her follow-ups, so I give her kudos for that. So I decided to appease her and look through the ingredients of the Plexus Slim, the Probio, the BioCleanse. And you guys, the ingredients that were in those products were exactly what I was learning about in school at that time. And so a little light bulb moment went off in my head. And sure enough, all the issues that I was dealing with, I knew that I had to correct. Like I had to manage my stress levels better. I had to start healing my gut. And I really needed to start bringing nutrients back into my body. It was those 3 steps that I knew I had to work on. And Plexus had the tools and the ingredients that I knew could help me with that. So how did we begin? Oh, by the way, I am symptom free and I have been for 18 months. So Plexus, amen, totally helped with that. Thank you, Lord. So how do I go about in teaching Plexus to my team and to my meetings? I just literally talk about bringing restoration and balance back to the body. So the number one thing that we need to do to start is we need to remove stress from the body. And stressors can come from a chemical stress, a physical stress, or an emotional stress. Our body cannot differentiate the difference between the stresses. They just know it's under stress. And so Plexus has really helped with that because we have a stress hormone called cortisol, and cortisol needs to be balanced with insulin. And you guys all know that Plexus Slim is a major component for balancing insulin, for blood sugars. And those 2 hormones, insulin and cortisol, need to be balanced all the time. When one is out of balance, the other one is out of balance. So Slim, it balances insulin. Insulin is a master hormone. That hormone talks to every other hormone in the body. So that is why we're seeing so many people that have sleep issues. We have sleep hormones that get improved. Or we have digestive issues, those get improved because we have digestive hormones. Or reproductive issues because we have reproductive hormones. Or cholesterol is a hormone. Vitamin D is a hormone. All of those hormones can be corrected if our insulin is talking nice to the rest of them. So that is one way, as removing stress is by improving our insulin function. Also, we reduce sugar cravings. And when you take sugar out of your diet, you take a lot of stress away from your body. You're balancing your blood pressure. And when your blood pressure is either too high or too low, that indicates that the body's under some level of stress. You're balancing your cholesterol, and you're improving your sleep. And sleep is a major component to healing. So That's the slim. And then the next thing, number two, we always go to healing the gut. And that is where our probio and a bio cleanse come in. I had candida overgrowth, probably from the IV antibiotics that were in my body, and probably some reason of that was probably because of my diet. Prior to getting sick was probably eating too much dead food. Okay, Americans are notorious for eating dead food. We eat everything that's packaged or things that are cooked, and that's dead food. And candida's purpose is to eat dead things. Okay, just like a fungus on a tree, when the tree is dead, the fungus brings the tree back to the earth. And that's exactly candida's purpose in our gut, is to clean up our gut by eating dead things. And when it eats dead stuff, it actually ends up overgrowing in the body. So probio is phenomenal for cleaning up a lot of that candida. It has enzymes in it. The enzymes help they help digest our food better, because if our food is not digested properly, then it sits and ferments and rots in the gut, and that becomes a smorgasbord for candida. So the enzymes in the probio 5 can help us digest better, and they also help digest overgrowth of candida. It's antifungal, and it has healthy bacteria back into the body. So that's why I love the probio 5, and I was on a lot of probiotics prior to the probio 5. And they did not make me feel even close to the way that I did on probio 5. So you guys all know how amazing that product is. The other thing about the bio cleanse that is really fantastic, you guys, it's not just for cleaning the colon. That is a huge part of how we feel on the bio cleanse. But the coolest part about the bio cleanse to me is its actual role in balancing out the cortisol. You see, cortisol requires sodium and magnesium and vitamin C to calm down cortisol. And you guys, those are the 3 major ingredients that are in our bio cleanse. And so not only is our insulin functioning better on the slim, but now our cortisol is functioning better on the bio cleanse. So the triplex, always my number 1 recommendation for anybody, no matter what their health issue is, always start out on the triplex, because you are going to cover a gamut of health issues right off of the bat. Even if you're looking to lose weight, you are going to start metabolizing better, you're going to start feeling better, you're going to start making better health choices right off the bat on the triplex. So the bio cleanse, yes, it's for helping remove matter from the colon, but it also oxygenates the blood in the body so that we feel clear in our mind. We have more energy. Also, the magnesium really helps with issues like constipation in some people, or IBS in other people, because magnesium, IBS is just a spasm of the colon, okay? A lot like we have restless leg syndrome and we have spasms in our muscles, we have spasms in our colon, and heart palpitations is another type of a spasm. It's all due to a magnesium deficiency. So BioCleanse is like a phenomenal product. I think everybody should be on the BioCleanse and not be afraid of it, because it's really important for our health. And then lastly, so we remove stress, we're healing the gut. And then lastly, I'd love to talk about is bringing nutrients back to the body. When you have candida overgrowth, it takes your immune system hostage, and it really prevents your intestines to assimilate nutrients in the body. And so your cells become starved of the very necessary proponents that it needs to function correctly. So the X Factor has been amazing in that, because of the aloe helping us absorb nutrients from just that capsule alone by 300-400% more. But not only that, but we're absorbing nutrients from our foods, because now we're starting to eat healthier, right? We're craving less pizza and wanting more salads. So we're getting more nutrients from our foods in that matter as well. And the best part is that we're actually absorbing the nutrients from our products. So the Slim is more effective, and the probiotics are more effective, and the BioCleanse is more effective, all because of that aloe. Another major awesome thing about the X Factor is, you guys all know that aloe is used, people have used aloe for centuries on burns, because it has the ability to bring a deformed cell back into its original form. Well, we have cells all over our body. We're just made up of millions and billions and billions of cells. But you guys, we have more surface area in our intestines than we do on our skin. And our skin is our largest organ. So if we have more surface area on the interior of our intestines and that is not healthy, think about what that X factor does to the interior of our colon and the interior of our esophagus, or everything, stomach, and all of that is getting healed through aloe. So it's really, really healthy for us. Great in vitamin C, vitamin B's, vitamin D, and rich in iron because of the New Zealand black currant. So that is the Fab 4. And then lastly, I'm just going to touch on real briefly is my favorite. Okay, I have a gazillion favorites, but the new Ease capsules, we take pretty much like candy around our house because I love the anti-inflammatory properties of it. I love that they have awesome enzymes that help me digest my food every single day really well. I love that it anything that we come in contact that is some type of a bacteria is a type of a protein, and the enzymes that are in our Ease capsules really do a great job of digesting that protein. Anytime that our family feels like they're coming down with a cold or a sickness, we always take the Ease capsules, and we're not sick. We might start feeling sick, but we don't ever end up getting sick. And I really believe it has to do with those enzymes, but boosting up our immune system and then actually digesting the bacteria proteins. So love that. And then I think that was it. That's like the Fab 5. And I talk about those at every single one of my meetings. I really train on that. I train on removing stress and healing the gut and bringing nutrients back. And when all of that happens, your body comes into a balance of homeostasis, and people start feeling amazing. And they never want to be off of the products because they never want to go backwards. They only want to start going forward. So that is what I love to talk about. And I've been sharing this at every meeting. I started my business literally. I invited nobody was doing plexus in my area, you guys. Nobody. My upline lives in Tennessee. I'm from Minnesota. And I had to do meetings all by myself, all on my own. I had to watch a lot of videos online. Like I studied Sonia Dudley's videos on when she talked about the product and everything. I studied my ingredients. I learned what they did. And then I threw myself a launch party. And I had 30 people come to my party. And I talked all about plexus. And I read testimonies because I didn't have testimonies. I had my own testimony, but I started reading testimonies that I found online in our group pages. And that was it. I had some prizes, and that is how I launched off my business. And now I'm an Emerald Ambassador, and I've been in the business for about, 18 months now. So pushing my way to Sapphire. I can't wait. So that's it. Amber.
Wendy, thank you so much. Let me ask you if you could touch on one thing that you mentioned when you were at North Place Church about the ProBio and the BioCleanse always going together. Can you touch on that real quick and just explain that?
When I start out my people, I like to start out on them together, mainly just for the reason that it just lessens the die-off effect so that it's not so dramatic. Because you guys, if they don't have positive results from the very beginning, they're not going to go back and do it again, right? So it's still effective, but it's not as effective as if you were to take them apart. So when I start out people, I want them to start out gently, but I want them to have little baby step results. And then when they get to a point, like probably month 2, then I'm going to start separating the product. So then they're taking the BioCleanse away from the ProBio 5. And then it's even more effective when they're separated. But to start out, I want them to have success. I don't want them to get freaked out because of detoxing or anything like that. I want them to be really pleased from the very beginning.
Okay. And another thing that you mentioned, I keep saying North Place Church. That's where I go to church. It was Spring Creek Church. Anyways, is how there is iron in our X Factor. And a lot of people don't realize that.
Yep. Yeah, if you were to Google the New Zealand blackcurrant, you will see that it is very rich in iron. And a lot of people's iron goes up on the product. There's two reasons for that. Mainly because they're healing the gut. When you have candida overgrowth, you're not assimilating iron, whether that's from your spinach, if you're vegetarian, or your greens, or even your meat. So a lot of people become iron deficient. So when you start healing the gut, then you can assimilate iron better. And then you have the aloe to add to that. So a lot of people's iron will go up, even though it's not an added ingredient in our X Factor, it's in the berry. So.
Do you normally start your people on one product at a time? Like start with the slim and then add in the...
No. The triplex. No, I actually start them on the slim in the morning, and then the 2 probio and the 2 bio cleanse at bedtime.
Okay.
And yeah, that's what I have them start with, and that's pretty much all of month 1. And then we start bumping it according to the developer's instructions by month 2.
Okay. That's great information. Would you mind if we open up some questions on the chat here? I did tell our team earlier today, y'all, none of us can come right out and say, my uncle has Lyme's disease, what should he take? Or anything like that. She can't give you specifics on what someone should take for a certain disease or ailment that they have. But we'll just take maybe 3 or 4 questions. If anybody has one, just post them in the chat down here. And then Wendy can just verbally respond. If nobody has any questions, then we'll let you go and continue our call.
Okay. Billy Joe says, I lost it. I saw it for a second.
It says, I was told that you take BioCleanse in morning and afternoon instead of bedtime. And I think what she's referring to, everybody was taking them at night with the ProBio, and then it went around that you were missing out on goodness from the ProBio. So to separate them. What are your thoughts on that?
Right. Oh, I totally agree that you should, but I'm just saying I don't start my people out that way.
Yeah.
Because there's always that higher chance of them having bloating, or they may have diarrhea, or they may actually end up getting constipated. So I'm just having them take them together to start, and then they ease into separating them later.
Okay.
So I agree with the product, with the developer's instructions, just not from the get-go.
Right. Could you briefly talk about boost versus accelerator?
I love the accelerator personally for the 5-HTP purposes in it. If you guys Google 5-HTP, there are a ton of health benefits with the 5-HTP. A lot of it is improved sleep. It's anti-inflammatory. It helps with moods and depression and things like that. I love it because it helps me sleep better. And sleep is huge to healing the body. Boost, I don't talk a lot about boost. If you're somebody who does a lot of exercise, boost is great for that. But I think when we're trying to heal the body, I don't want to add stimulants because that messes up with the cortisol levels, which is we're trying to balance that out. So boost and accelerator come much, much later in the journey, not right off the bat.
Jana, did you have anything you wanted to add, or?
Yeah, I just have one more question for you. You mentioned that you start you start somebody on all 3 products. So day one that you have them taking all 3 products?
I do.
Okay. Because I've always heard different things on that. And I've always kind of started people off, start with a slim, wait a couple days, added a new product. But that's good to know. And do you start them off on the lowest dosage?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. If it's somebody who's really, really sick, then I might say 1 ProBio, 1 Bio Cleanse. Yeah. I don't want them to have like a horrible reaction right off the
Right.
bat. So
Right.
yeah, I gauge it. I gauge it according to what they're dealing with. But yeah, we do always start with the triplex right off the bat, all 3 products.
Okay. And then somebody asked, what do you think about the shakes that have been so popular, the 96, the Slim, and everything?
Love,
Do you have any thoughts on that?
love. Oh, I love it. I think it's fabulous. I think it's like the smartest, most ingenious thing out there. You know, the shakes itself, I was not a huge fan of the protein shakes at first until I learned that they were from grass-fed whey and cold pressed, which means that it's retained all of its nutrients. I wish it said that on the bag because that is huge in my demographic of people. That is really important to their health to have that kind of a thing on there. Mixing it with coconut milk, carrageenan free, all of that, it's awesome. And if you guys research chromium and whey and the research that they've done on how that reduces belly fat, you can see why people have had such great results. So use your tools when you're trying to figure things out like that, like Google whey and chromium, and be your own little teacher, and you'll be really surprised what you'll come up with.
Yeah, that's awesome. We've had a lot of people with really good success from doing the shakes. So with the coconut milk and all. So
now, are you the one that bought all 5,000 bags of the chocolate shake the other day?
I didn't get one.
I didn't either.
I didn't either.
I didn't either. Yeah.
No.
And let's see, was there anything else on here, Amber? Did you see any other questions? Somebody thought, I think this was a misunderstanding, but they thought that you said something about after a month or so to stop taking BioCleanse. That's not what you said though. You said after a month or so, that's when you maybe start separating them. Yeah.
Right.
So Debbie, that should answer your question.
Yeah. I think BioCleanse is great to take all the time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Is it important to take the Slim first thing in the morning before drinking/eating, or is it okay to take it after breakfast around mid-morning?
It's okay to do either or. Some people that have reactive hypoglycemia may need to eat first because their sugars could drop too low and they would feel it. They would not feel very well. So some people need to eat first, and that's okay. A lot of people are just perfectly fine taking it first and then having breakfast later. So gauge on how you feel best. And honestly, if you are one of those that have that hypoglycemic reaction, I guarantee you within 3 weeks, 4 weeks, you won't have that issue anymore because your blood sugars will be stable because you've been on the product for a month. So yeah, listen to your body. It's not failing you. A lot of people think detoxing is such a huge failure when it's really your body purging itself and getting it back on track. So I welcome detoxing. I always, when people go through a detox, I pull out my pom-poms. I'm like, yes, this is awesome. You guys have no idea how great this is for you. And they're like, what? I feel like crap. I'm like, no, you're getting stuff out of you that shouldn't be in there. It's been in your fat cells and in your tissues for years and years and years. So that just wears down on the body and brings disease.
That's awesome.
So it's good. I encourage people to go through it, and
that's awesome.
So
do you have a YouTube channel? Didn't y'all start an actual channel or some trainings online and stuff?
I did. I never meant to make it public. It was really just for my and it ended up, a lot of people found it. So you guys just have grace over me because I learn as I go, and I don't do things to to be this major professional. I just have something I maybe want to just share with my team really quick, and I'll record it, and it will get on my YouTube. That's the only way that I figured out how to do it. I'm really not techie savage at all.
Well, Jana and I aren't too professional. We put a video on our team page when we were sitting in her Lexus, and her husband walked behind us with his mounted deer head just right above the back window of the car, so it looks like a deer is behind our car. Yeah, so we're not too worried about professionalism. Would you be able to briefly talk about Mega X and your thoughts on it and all that?
I love the Mega X. I cannot wait until that product becomes available. I did a little bit of research on the ahi flower, and it is, you guys, it is like everything we have ever needed for our body in one flower. And what does that say about what God does for us? He really did tell us that the seeds and the plants of the earth are for our benefit. And I can't believe that Plexus is like the only company out there who has really figured this out. So I cannot wait until this product hits the market, because we're going to be eating that like candy next. Super healthy for you. Love that it has the 5s and the 7s in it. I recommend everybody to be on the Mega X, no matter what. It's awesome. Super awesome.
Yes, I'm loving it. We're taking it here, and I'm already loving the results from it. Just one more thing that I know a lot of people get confused on is the BioCleanse and ProBio. How do you help someone find the right dosage for them? So I know you said you start them off usually maybe with one when they first start. How do you help them find, to work up to the right dosage? I know that's always a struggle for people.
It can be a struggle. They have to play with it until they get the result that their body is functioning at its optimal level. Like personally for me, I have been constipated for 13 years. It took 4 to 6 BioCleanse alone at bedtime for me to go the next day. I had to figure that out on my own. If I took it the way that the developers told me to, I was still not going to the bathroom. So I had to play around with that. And you kind of have to coach your customers through that too. Now my husband has IBS. Nothing helped. He took 1, nothing happened. He took 2, everything calmed down. He took 3, it was bad again. So we figured 2 has been perfect for him. You kind of got to gauge your body and listen to it.
Yeah, that's what we normally tell everybody. I think everybody just wants a quick answer. Everybody's like, no, just take 3 and that'll be perfect for you. And it's hard. Everybody really has to figure out what works for them. So
because
yeah,
we're all different.
Yeah,
we're totally all different. We're all at different levels of how messed up our body is. We're not cookie cutters.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, I so appreciate this. If you don't mind, I have one more question, and then I don't think we're going to take any more. The fast relief combos. We have heard, or somebody posted on here, they've heard that they work synergistically. So pill works from the inside and lotion from the outside. How often should someone in pain take a dosage? Like every 4 to 6 hours? Can they repeat the lotion more often than that? Do you have any?
Sure. Oh, I think they can use the lotion as often as needed.
Yes, that's what I think. So,
and then the same with, and then the E's as well. I take 6 E's capsules every single day. I feel great on 6 E's capsules. So take it until you don't have pain anymore. Use your cream until you have relief. They do work synergistically together. They're awesome. I agree. It's kind of like the BioCleanse. Like there's no right answer for that either. You kind of have to go engage how you feel.
Yeah, I agree. I think people get scared on that because they're comparing it to something like an Advil or a Tylenol, so they think they're going to take too much of it, and it scares them a little bit. So for them to, they hear 6 and they're like, oh, 6. So it scares them a little bit, but they're not realizing that it's totally different than, an Advil.
Right. Yeah, it's so different. It's food. It's just food.
With the omega-3s and the E's capsule, will you still take 6 of them when you start the Mega X?
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't have.
Okay.
I don't know yet.
You'll have to figure that out. All right.
Right. Yep.
Okay. Well, Wendy, we so appreciate your time. You are just so precious to us. I've been praying over you in this meeting. I know that we've all learned a lot. I want for everybody on here to know that this has been recorded. So if you were trying to write as quickly as I was, don't worry. It's been recorded. And I know that there were some folks that really wanted to get on here and their schedule just for whatever reason didn't allow them. But we so appreciate your time. We're going to stay on here. Wendy, if you need to go ahead and go, by all means, please do that. I want to stay on here. We're going to talk to our team for just a little bit longer, but we really appreciate it, and have a great 4th of July with your family.
Thank you guys so much. God bless you.
You too.
Thank you, Wendy.
You're welcome.
Okay, don't everybody leave just because it's just me and Jana now, okay? Wah, wah. Let's go ahead, and I want to hear from some of you guys. I'm just going spur of the moment here, and Jana, jump in. We were going to stretch that out a little bit longer, and her time just didn't allow, so that's okay. What does Ann Scahill say? She's just
Oh my gosh, Amber, I'm cracking up. Amber just told me to push my hair behind my ear.
Sorry. I was trying to tell you that while you
were.
I'm so
sorry that my hair was sticking out that whole fall. I am so embarrassed right now.
Okay, so here's what I want to do. I'm just going to pick on some people real quick. I want to hear what some of you are doing. We are seeing you add people left and right to our team page. And this past month, y'all, our teams, yesterday, I called my sister at probably 10 o'clock at night. I had just signed a new ambassador. And the first thing she said to me was, is your phone not blowing up today? Because it was just like one right after another. And it's so exciting. My team alone added 90 new people last month. And to me, I think that just blows my mind that that's 90 people that are on their way to better health and building a business and getting out of debt and getting out of bed and feeling better and sleeping better. It's so exciting to me. So I want to hear from a couple of y'all who were just rocking it this week. And then Jana can pick on a couple of her people. Terry Paxton, you probably knew I was going to go to you. I want to hear from you. You added, I believe it was 9 new ambassadors in the month of June, which is just phenomenal. And I just want to hear kind of what you're doing. When you message people, what are you saying to them? How often are you getting on the phone? How many hours are you putting in per week? So on and so forth.
Okay, hey there. Yeah, well, it was a crazy, fabulous month, which I was telling Jana earlier today, which was such a blessing because you guys, May was just the opposite. I mean, just the opposite. And quite frankly, I think I did the same thing in May that I did in June. So I don't have any secret recipes other than, I guess maybe in June I had more time to spend because I was out of school now and I could visit with people at different times of the day instead of always in the evening. That may be a secret. I don't know. I don't think it should have to be. I started keeping track of who I had talked to and what their response was and did a lot of following up and probably followed up. I got my new little Erin Condren, this thing, my little, my new scheduling Bible. And each week when I would talk to somebody, then I would make a note to follow up with them the following week if I hadn't heard back. And the follow-up, lots of times, instead of being really poignant, it was something like, hey, I can't stop thinking about you in Plexus. And that was ... That was it. Just a little bug in their ear. And so I think that was maybe just not too pushy, but it just so happened that there was just a line of people that had kept on talking about it, and that just kind of fell into place this month.
So would you say the key for you this month was following up with people?
Definitely.
Yeah.
And following up regularly. Like I said, if I talked to somebody last Tuesday, then next Tuesday was when I was going to follow up with them. I didn't want to do it too soon. Not a few days. And so, yeah, I would definitely say the follow-up was it. Definitely. Thank God. Imagine that.
That always helps.
That does definitely help.
Well, thank you so much. I know we're putting people on the spot here. This wasn't planned, and you were ready to dive right in there. So I just appreciate that. Jana, you got someone you want to ask kind of the same question to, or maybe even a little different?
Several people last month, or just towards the end of June, and even going into this month, that have been just knocking it out of the park. So is Julie King on here? Is Julie on the call? I see Randa and Linda. Is Julie on here? Does anybody know?
I'm on here.
Julie, you're on here. I can't see you though. Where are you? Wave to me.
I'm hid.
You're hid. We can just
She
hear
has
you.
her video hidden. That's okay.
Well, Julie, I hate putting you on the spot, and if you're not comfortable, that's totally fine. But hey, I would love to hear. I haven't talked to you much. I would love to hear what you're doing, because I know last month you signed 6 new ambassadors, and I know you've signed some this month. So you want to share with us any tips and how just what you're doing to grow your business?
Well, I'm just finishing up my 4th month with Plexus, and I had told my upline Vicky back in May. I said, I'm talking to all these people and sending them information and following up with them, and it's like they just will not get off the fence. And when you posted that challenge the other day, I was like, well, maybe this will be something that will get people moving. And it was like everybody come out of the woodwork. And so I just started messaging them, and they were, on board. But I think just having a personal testimony, and that's basically what I'm still learning. So I don't feel comfortable yet talking a whole lot about the product, other than just telling people what's worked for me.
Well, hey, Julie, do you mind sharing with us, sharing your your story of what's going on with you since you started Plexus? Because you have a great story as well.
Sure, I don't mind at all. My best friend Vicky, who is also my upline, she had been sharing Plexus with me for probably about a year, and I started noticing changes in her, and her and her sister actually came to Lynchburg and kidnapped me and took me to a Super Saturday. And so when we got back, I'd been there, I'd heard all that, how wonderful Plexus is. And my uncle, who I considered to be the picture of health, had to have quadruple bypass surgery. And 2 weeks later, my mom found out she was a type 2 diabetic. And I turned 40 this year, and I just felt like it was now or never. If I was going to take back my health, I had to do it now. And so I told my husband, I found out, this is crazy, but I found out that Sam's Club, the second Saturday of the month, will do a health screen. And so me and all the other little senior citizens were there getting our blood checked. And my cholesterol was extremely high. My BMI was high. My heart risk factor was high. My good cholesterol was low. And that day I just made a decision, okay, I'm going to order my Plexus, and I'm going to change my life and start eating healthy. And so that was on March 7th. And to date, I have lost almost 19 pounds. I've lost, I think last count, almost 16 inches all over my body. I have lowered my cholesterol 60 points, and I've been on thyroid medication for 20 years, and it's always had to be increased. And for the first time in 20 years, when I had my thyroid checked, I was in the over-medicated range. So my thyroid medication had to be lowered. So that has just been a blessing. and I'm just so thankful for Plexus.
That's so awesome, Julie. I am so glad to actually hear you share your story. I've seen like you sharing it online. So like to actually hear your voice and hear your story, that gives me chills. I mean, when you go from hearing Wendy talk about our products and just how amazing the ingredients in our products are, and then you hear that story, it just puts it all together for you. So you realize the power of what we're doing. You know, it's like Amber said before, and you know, we're not selling candles and we're not selling makeup. I mean, we're really selling products that really are changing people's lives. So I'm super excited for you, Julie. Thank you. And I'm sure your story is probably part of what is contributing to your business growth. So that's awesome.
Well, thank you.
Well, let me just say this. Just because you don't have Julie's story, you can still share hers.
Yeah.
As your story is still being developed, share other people's. Don't ever think I have to have my amazing Ann Scahill YouTube video before I can do this. Share Ann's video and share Julie's story so that you can build your business. Okay, I'm now texting people, letting them know I'm going to be calling on them. Sorry about that, Terry. We didn't do that with you. I want to talk to my buddy Stephen Wells. You guys know this name. He's like a household name for all of us now. I was like, oh, Stephen Wells. He just signed another ambassador. Y'all, I met this guy in college. He is probably the funniest person I've ever known in real life. And for me to say that is like a big deal because I like funny. He's hysterical, but I'm so proud of him and his wife. And all that they're doing with Plexus. So, Stephen, tell us a little bit of your health story and where you guys are at now. And then tell us how your team is doing, what you're doing to keep them motivated, and things like that.
We got to a place where my wife and I physically, where we knew something had to change, and we wanted something besides going to the doctor and getting another prescription. And so my friend Amber Livesay was blowing up on Facebook, and I almost defriended her or unfollowed her because she was driving me crazy. And so, long story short, I had actually tried Plexus for a month in 2014, and I remember feeling fantastic. I was hoping for the magic pill, so I didn't change any of my diet. Didn't lose a pound, but felt great. And so I knew it was going to be effective once I was ready to make the change in my life. So we jumped all in at the end of April. We actually have tried to help our sanity. Amber, please pay attention to what I'm saying. We've actually really tried to stay away from the scale like every week, just for, I think everybody knows why. But at Last Way, and this is including taking the youth choir on a retreat and vacation, I'm still at 30 pounds lost. My wife's at 19. Christy's at 19 pounds lost. Christy had horrible IBS for 10 years, and it is gone. We both sleep better through the night. Let's see, my blood pressure is in a completely normal range, and it was high even on medication. There's just so many things. My acid reflux is gone. I hated taking the medicine. It made me feel itchy. Anyway, so my acid reflux is gone. I kind of echo what Terry said. I just keep putting it out there. I really think we have to remember that you don't know who's watching. Amber told me something when we ordered, how much Plexus resembles the Christian life. It is so funny because I didn't get it when she said that, but now I get it. Anyway, for you, those of you who are believers, you know what I mean. Anyway, you never know who's watching and who's listening, and so I just have people come out of nowhere that I haven't had conversations with, and so I've been watching you. I've been seeing what's happening, and so for me, it's consistency in the testimony, being a product of the product, and I really love knowledge. I love learning about the products. I find it boosts your confidence in what you're doing. Jana just said, there's nothing wrong with candles and other things. We like those things, but when you get knowledgeable about the products and what it's doing in people's lives, then that starts a passion in you. So business-wise, like I said, I think we're 8 weeks in or 9 weeks in now. I have 23 or 24 ambassadors with me as of now. I could not believe my June commission, could not believe it. It's crazy to me. And to think that it could just even get better it blows my mind. All while, for example, real quick, I'm a friend of mine, she is a staff wife of First Baptist Orlando. She put on Facebook 3 or 4 weeks ago about her migraine she's having. And I reached out to her and I said I would never want to make things awkward in our relationship or in our friendship, rather. But I don't have migraine issues, but I've got friends from Bible College that have had migraine issues, and they found some incredible help with Plexus. And I explained to her that Christy and I were doing it for our health and for our weight and different things. Anyway, to God be the glory. About a week and a half in on the triplex, she is migraine free. And so when I'm able to tell that to people, like, this isn't just a flashy infomercial. These are people that I know. These are people that I love and that I trust. And so anyway, so that's what's going on.
Stephen, I felt myself cheesing big time during your testimony. I got a little teary when you were talking about your June commission, but I was like, okay, Amber, you're cheesing. It's not a Lifetime movie. Pull yourself together. Anyway.
Well, in the ministry with 3 children, it's just things can be very tight financially. Things can be very tight. And when you choose this lifestyle and your call to the ministry, you're forfeiting being, rich and famous. And that's for the sake of the gospel and for the glory of God. Does that make sense? And so to be able to have that income is just an incredible blessing to say, as the man, as the provider of my home, to say, let's add this to the bank account, so praise Jesus.
That's so awesome. I am so happy for you. And I think of everyone we've talked to tonight so far, the driving force behind it is the Lord. And it's them consistently giving their businesses to the Lord and knowing that none of us can do this alone. We have to rely on Him.
Right.
And that's so true in every area of our lives. Jana, I have another one lined up. Do you have someone you want to talk to?
I do, but I want to make a couple observations. First of all, Randa and Linda, are y'all sitting on the same bed but on separate computers? I'm just curious. See, I knew that. I could figure it out. Y'all had the same exact headboard in the background. I was like, are they seriously on the same bed? But I just had to ask. Okay, and then my next observation, just because this whole call, I just love doing these calls and looking at you guys. Lindsay Hughes, my niece, your face looks so skinny. Like, everybody look at Lindsay. I know y'all didn't know.
Oh.
Lindsay, like, I'm looking at you, I'm like, that's Lindsay. Your face looks so skinny.
Yeah,
I just had to point that out because Lindsay's having great results with the products too. And
well, thank you, because I'm sick right now and I look awful, so thank you.
Well, your face looks skinny anyway, so there you go. Take that one. And then my third observation was Stephen says he was not going to be rich or famous, but I can guarantee you, Stephen said next year at convention, he's going to get on that stage somehow. So we will make Stephen probably rich and famous. So he will get there. Okay. So anyway, those are just my 3 observations.
I think what's going to happen is me and Stephen and Amy Triplett are going to form a trio. And we'll provide the music next year at convention. Yeah. Probably Randa and Linda and Vicky will be up there with us too. So a little
a Plexus ensemble.
Can I be the interpretive dance?
Yes.
Can I do that part? Okay.
Mary and Anne can be our interpretive dancers.
Okay. Yeah. I really want to. I really do want
instead
to.
of
Kenny G. Yeah.
We will be better.
It'll be good. It'll be really good. Okay, so you guys have noticed, if you're on the Simple Sisters page, that Ann Scahill is blowing it up right now. So you guys all know Ann. You've all heard her story. We all love Ann. Everybody say, "Aw."
Oh, stop it.
Okay, so Ann, share with us. Take it away.
Okay, so I work full time for our church, and this week I'm really, really tired. I have worked really hard this week. And this may surprise you. I have not worked hard for the money, even though I really want to sing. Go, Amber, you know what I want to sing. I've been wanting to work hard for the money, but she worked hard for the money. See, I knew it. Ooh, yes.
Hard for the money.
Anne's totally going to be on stage next year with everybody else too. She is.
So, and we're back. I did not work hard for the money this week. I worked hard because I have a lot of friends and family who trust me, and I have a lot of friends and family who are going through some pretty hard things with their bodies, with their health, with their weight, and so on and so forth. And that motivates me because, as Jana said, a lot of you have seen my testimony on video. And if you haven't, I'm sure you could look it up on our Slim Sisters page and you'll find it pretty quickly. I was there. I was that girl. I was, I think Sweet Marilyn is on this call today, and she is where I was. She's still working, but she's hurting, y'all. She's ready for a change. She's ready to do something. And here's the deal. I'm not just going to sell her these products and let her figure it out for herself. So when Jana said, hey, I just posted this thing about getting 10, you guys should try it. My Facebook's blowing up, blah, 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 blah. I took it a step further. So I created a closed Facebook group. So anybody who said, yes, I want to be consistent for 3 solid months. I really want to give this a bona fide chance. I put them in this secret group, and I am agreeing to coach them. I'm going to lead them. I'm going to walk them through things. So like before they even got their products, they're just now starting to get their products this week. We're talking about water. We're talking about the importance of water, and we talk about water bottles. What's a great kind of water bottle? I like the Camelback ones because I'm a klutz and I drop things all the stinking time, and I can't tell you how many water bottles I've broken. I never buy the cute ones because they just don't work out for me. So we talked about all those things as we're getting ready for our products to come in. And then last night I posted, okay, when your products come, this is how I recommend you take them, which I might change now that I've listened to Wendy. I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm going to change that or not. But for me, this group, this closed group is, this is my opportunity to change the way I'm doing Plexus. I want it to be about the people, the money. Oh my gosh, you guys. So my car broke down Sunday. So we had a call Sunday and I couldn't even, we were standing, I don't know who actually lives in Dallas, but we're standing on the side of a highway under a shade tree. My husband and I were, and I'm like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to make the call. I don't think this is going to work out for me. So, but the Lord has provided. He has provided through all kinds of different things this week. It blows my mind. Like I got a random bonus at my job and I got a raise and I won $100 from Jana. I've got my commissions coming. It's blowing my mind the way that he provides. So to me, I want to be invested in people more than I'm invested in the money, because the money will come. When you're invested in people, your friends and family trust you. They don't trust me. They don't know me. They trust you. So you need to be that voice for them. You need to, and I stink at follow-up, you guys. Oh my gosh. And if you're on my team and you're on this call, I would just like to go ahead and I solemnly swear that I will do a better job of following up with you from this point forward. Here we go. Got that out of the way. But having everybody in this closed group, it gives me the opportunity to follow up with everybody all at the same time. And the coolest thing is happening, you guys. They're encouraging each other. Just today, someone was talking about how she got some water in and she normally doesn't drink water. And everybody was like, yay, that's awesome. Good for you. That's exciting. And I love that, because it shouldn't just be me being the only cheerleader. You know, God gave us people for a reason. He gave us relationship for a reason. And I firmly believe that if we invest in people and we care about their actual needs and what they're struggling with and what they're going through, then we have a real chance of helping them at a deeper level. So there it is.
I love that. And I just love the whole idea of the whole just doing the group. I think it is brilliant. I think it is you're going to make such an impact on those people. And then in turn, it is going to help your business grow. So I think that I just love it. People love being part of a group too. They love having that encouragement. I mean, that's one reason when you think of like Weight Watchers, that's one reason you're just you're not even eating special food or taking special products when you go to Weight Watchers, but you're being held accountable, and you're with a group of people that are encouraging each other and helping each other out. So it's kind of the same, in my opinion. It's kind of the same thing. So I love it, absolutely love it. And go ahead, Ann. Yeah.
One more thing, Jana. One more thing that, whoever was at convention with us, this was one of the things I shared with a lot of people. I really felt like it was this amazing opportunity for cross training. So the things that I had learned in ministry, I was like, holy cow, that applies in Plexus. And the things I was learning in Plexus, I was like, whoa, that applies in ministry. And one of the things we talk about in ministry all the time is having an apprentice, having somebody close by you, under your wing, that you're showing them, hey, this is how we do things. Now you take a turn, you try it, you lead, X, Y, Z. And having this closed group, there's zero expectation from me that the people in my closed group are going to become business builders, and they're going to become, silver and gold and ruby and on and on and on. However, they're all my apprentices. They're learning from me on a pretty close level. So if any of them do decide to work the business, now they've been my apprentice this entire time, and they're learning how to treat the people that they'll be in touch with. And I think that's so stinking important.
Yeah, it is really important. And part of it is, I know for me, part of the problem I've always had with follow-up is sometimes it's fear. It's fear held me back from follow-up, because if people are struggling, a lot of it goes right along with knowing your products. So that's why this call was so important tonight, so that we can learn more about our products. Then when people are struggling, then we know how to help them. We know how to help those people when they are struggling. When we don't know our products and we don't know what we're doing, then it makes it hard, and follow-up is hard because we're scared sometimes to follow up. So I love the group. I just love it, love it, love it. So
and
awesome.
Your group is just for your customers, right? Not your ambassadors, your closed group?
It's both. So when I posted the Facebook post about the 10, I took both customers and people who chose the wholesale account, and I grouped them all together, because in my mind, they're all starting from square one.
Okay.
And a preferred customer could become an ambassador. The people who chose preferred customer, they've never tried it. They've never had a sample. One girl was like, sometimes I have allergic reactions to things. I want to make sure that this is not something that I'm going to have a reaction to, and then I'm stuck with this wholesale account. So, I honored that. I didn't push back. I never want somebody to feel like they're being had, or that I'm selling them something, or that I'm just using them to get the commission out of whatever they're buying. I never want someone to feel that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, Amber, you want to?
Yeah. Well, let me go to, where did she go? Amy Triplett, you're a black screen. Can you hear me, Amy? Oh, you're in the car. Amy, talk briefly about,
Yeah, I'm
Amy,
driving.
okay. Oh, you are driving? Oh,
It's okay. I can talk and drive.
Well, don't look at the screen. I don't know that I'm comfortable with this. Let's.
I can look at the screen. I'm looking at the road. I'm fine.
Is anybody else terrified?
I've been listening the whole time.
Will you be to your location sometime soon?
I don't know. I'm driving home from Orlando.
Oh.
But I'm watching the road. It's fine.
Well, yeah, but if, okay. Let me text. Okay, well, I'm not going to text you. You're driving. I don't know what to do. Let me go real quick. Let me go to Ashley Potter. Is Ashley still on here? Where is she?
She was on here.
I saw her with a whole group of people.
I'm here. Yes.
Yeah, she's super excited to do this too. Ashley, how many ambassadors did you add this past month? I kind of lost track a little bit. I have it all, but
I think it was 8.
8. That is incredible.
It was. Yes, she added 8.
I looked at my phone. Ashley, talk to us about just what you're doing. Talk to us about what you do. We had a question on here, and I want to hear from some other people. What you do when you send someone information, you give them the prices, you tell them about the products, and then they avoid you like you have the plague. Has that happened? I mean, am I the only one that this happens to? Okay. So we had that question on here from Randa, just wanting to get some other ambassadors' input. And then talk to us, too, about how you're adding people, how you added 8 people in the month of June.
Okay, well, yes, people avoid me. I started a couple months ago, and
I would say that I'm more of an introverted person, but when I invested my $34.95 and decided I was going to work this business, I had to shatter my comfort zone and kind of just get over what people think or the worry of getting on people's nerves. So until someone tells me, no, I am not interested, please stop asking me, I pretty much give it every 2 weeks, maybe 10 days. I just kind of go through and see who has not answered me, and I ask them again. But I let them know either about a call that you guys are having or a Facebook party. I try to bring up something else, not just have you tried Plexus over and over again. I try to present them with a new opportunity or something like that. If that answers your question. As far as adding 8 people, one thing I would say that I did, because I'm fairly new, is I've been exhausting all of my immediate contacts. And that's what I've been telling everyone that signed up with me is I have both of my grandmas on my team. I have my mom on my team. None of my sisters want to join me yet, but I am talking with everyone close to me, everyone that loves me and supports me. I've been talking with them and letting them know how these products can help them, and working closely with them to do that. Another thing I did was I posted that thing about the wholesale buyers that Jana had posted the other day, and I got a lot of interest from that post. I think I had like 20 people message me and ask me for information, which was encouraging, because sometimes you'll post something about Plexus and you'll get 3 likes and you think nobody sees it, but it just showed me that people are seeing and they are interested. And so a lot of the ambassadors that I signed 4 this week, and it was from that post. And I also gave away 2 free products. So I'm just trying to give incentives and invest in my business so that I can get people on board with me. And the biggest thing I would have to say is that my husband and I are both praying every single day that we will, that God's hand will be on it, and that we'll get the right people that need the business opportunity and people that need the products. And I genuinely don't want to sign anyone up as an ambassador that is going to be unhappy or may want their money back. So I've had to use discernment with that, about should they be a preferred customer or should they be an ambassador. But I think everyone that I signed this month is going to be happy and is going to benefit from the decision that they made to sign up with me. So hope that answers your question. Yeah, that's great, Ashley. I love that. Yeah,
that's awesome. Jana and I were just talking the other day just about how excited we are for you and Zach and your whole family. Your sisters will get on there soon enough. You have me and Jana talk with them. We'll talk to them about how to run a sister team. Okay.
Yeah. You have to do like I did and just tell them that they're going to do it. That's kind of what I did. She
looked at me and said, I'm doing Plexus and you're going to do it with me. And being the older sister, she was able to do that. But I'm slightly ever so grateful that she did. So
another thing, can I add one more thing?
Yes.
I just have to say I have had a party every month. Well, I had a party in May and I had a party in June, because no one here knows about Plexus. And so I have to first of all say thank you to Jana because she helped me, and thank you to Amber because she helped me with the first one. But I think that's good. Just I've had people come to the first one that didn't do anything, but they came to the second one and then they were ready to do something. They just needed more information because nobody knows anything. So doing the parties and doing the meetings and getting with people face to face has been really helpful if you're somewhere that people don't know about Plexus at all. But yeah, thank you guys for all your help.
Awesome.
Yay, awesome.
I'm sorry. Amy Triplett, I just want for you to drive home safely and later record a little video just about how you do your meetings and post it to Slim Sisters. Because if you were to be talking to us and get in some kind of accident, we would all feel dreadful. So, yeah. You get
Thank you for loving me.
Love you dearly.
Okay.
Is anybody on here let me just ask, is Jeannie Giddings, Billy Joe, or Dawn on here? I hear lovely music.
I think that might be Amy in her car.
Sorry. Yes, I'm muting.
Billy Joe Binge, are you on here? I don't think she's on here. Okay. Those are some people that really added some. I'm looking over who all really added some. Did a great job last month. So I was wanting them to share. I don't see anyone on here.
How long are you guys going to be on? I'll be home in like 5 minutes.
We'll probably close it out here soon. You text me when you get home, and we'll see.
Okay. I'm fine.
Let me just address one thing real quick. That was a question. Now, I'm no Wendy Larson, but someone had asked, how do we, that was terrible. I was just doing the whole comparison thing that I talk to people about all the time. Someone mentioned, how do we not talk people into, but how do we kind of convince people to do the triplex instead of boost or accelerator right off the bat? Because as Wendy mentioned, those things kind of come in later. Well, this is kind of how I do it. When you adequately, to the best of your ability, explain gut health and how when your gut is unhealthy, it affects weight loss and it affects your sleep. And when you're not sleeping well, that affects weight loss. Because if they're looking into the booster accelerator, obviously they want weight loss. What I tell people is taking the accelerator and the boost for weight loss when your gut is unhealthy is kind of like putting a Band-Aid on a gaping wound. You've got to get that gut healthy first. And there's something that I've experienced about kind of that visual with the Band-Aid that helps them go, oh, okay, I get it. So make sure you explain the gut health to them that she already talked about. I'm not going to go back over that again, but learn about gut health, about yeast overgrowth, and about candida, and that will always help with ProBio and BioCleanse with getting them to take those. And something that I was asking her about that she mentioned when I heard her speak at this church, she didn't directly say this, but the BioCleanse and the ProBio are always meant to go together, not meaning that you always take them at the same time of the day, like she talked about. But if you're taking ProBio, you should be taking BioCleanse and vice versa. And as she explained it when I heard her speak at this church, if you think of your body sitting like as a pond sitting in the sun, what's going to grow on that pond? Mold and grossness and ew, okay? So that's the medical term for it. So the ProBio comes in there and starts cleaning up all of that ew. But if that's all that happens, it doesn't go anywhere. The BioCleanse then comes in and flushes it out. So those two products are always supposed to be taken not necessarily at the same time of the day, but together. And I would encourage y'all, as she mentioned, whatever, if you're doing something, I think Julie, it wasn't Julie, maybe it was Terry, or someone said, it was Ann Scahill, said she may change up how she's taking her products now that Wendy said something. Well, if you're doing something that's working for you, by all means, stick with what you're doing. Everybody's bodies are different. It's just another great example of how God made us all so differently. No two of us are alike. And so our bodies are going to react differently to the supplements and all of that. So if you have something that you're doing that's working, keep it up. As Ann said, for sure, suggest to your new people how she's saying it. She's obviously knows what she's talking about and is doing something right, doing a lot of things right. But anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there about trying to kind of, if they can throw in the boost or accelerator later down the road, that's great, but start them on the triplex like she mentioned.
Yeah. And I just want to add to that just real quick, just so everybody's clear, because I've got a few questions on Facebook over here. What she's saying is she wants to keep it simple. That's what she's meaning by taking BioCleanse and ProBio together at nighttime. So that's why she's doing that. There have been conflicting reports out there. People have said, well, will the BioCleanse cancel out the ProBio? I'm not a medical professional, but I have talked to many people. It is not going to cancel out each other. It may not be quite as effective as taking them separately, but it's like she said, if you start off somebody, I talked to a girl yesterday who's been with another company, I'm not going to say any names, but she's like, I had to take like 20 pills a day. Like I was having to set timers. I can't do that. When we get them started, we need to keep it simple for them. They're going to see the results, and then down the road, like she said, maybe a month down the road, separate them. And then they may even see better results that way. So that's the whole point of starting them all at nighttime. Now, I will tell you, I've got a few people that cannot take the BioCleanse at night. And I'm kind of one of them. I don't do well taking BioCleanse at night. It keeps me awake. And so a lot of people can't take it at night, and that's okay. I tell my people when they start, try it. If it doesn't work, I know Karen Rizzo's on here. She's one of them. I said, try it. And she's like, I can't go to sleep. I said, okay, stop taking the BioCleanse at night. So it's just, that's a lot of people get, want an easy answer for everybody, just to take it like this and it work the same way for everybody. And it just doesn't always work that way, but it's not a bad thing. It's our bodies are all different, and they need different things, and they need different times of the day. So it's all about finding the right regimen of what works for your body. Jeannie Giddings is on here. Jeannie, can you hear me? She has not got great service. I really wanted Jeannie to share a little bit. Jeannie is a Ruby ambassador, almost senior Ruby under Dawn, and she knocked it out of the park in June as well. So I would love for you to share with us, Jeannie, if you've got good enough service.
I'm going to try. I just turned my hotspot on, so we'll see if that works better than my other service. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you great.
Okay, perfect. So excited, just because it was kind of like a sit down, come to Jesus. And it's something that's really, really simple. Social media is great, but it's not your best friend, and you will not build a huge business based on social media. You have to go back to old school and pick up the phone and dial their number and talk to them in person. That is exactly what changed my business in the last month. 100%. That's it. Because Dawn and I have held meetings since the get-go. I've been in this business for 15 months, and we have held consistently a meeting either in Kearney or Grand Island every month. And that is the thing that has helped the most, to be honest. That's it. Pick up the phone, call them. They have to hear your voice, because when you send a text message or a Facebook message, they do not hear your passion like if you pick up the phone. Also, following up with people, going back clear to when I started 15 months ago, who asked for a 3-day sample when I first started, that I sent a sample to, and they said, no, timing's not right, whatever. Going back, following up with them again. Because as far as I'm concerned, this is what Cindy told us, it's never no until they sign up on your team or someone else's team. So that's kind of what we're going off of. And just consistently holding meetings or holding events. We never call them meetings, we call them guest events. And getting your people there. And if no one shows up, which that's going to happen if you do a sip and see or an event or something, then you do a training with your team members. Just sit down and talk to them and hear their heart and find out what their fears are. It's been a lot of team building, just down on your knees. Again, what everyone else has been saying, I'll just, go on that, of giving it all to God and saying, if this is where I'm supposed to be, if this is what I'm supposed to be doing, please help me. Please show me the way that I need to be going. Show me the people I need to talk to. And that's honestly, within the last 3 weeks, that has totally turned around. And it's just, we did an event last night, or I did a sip and see here in Gibbon, which is less than 2,000 people. That's where I live. I did it with an ambassador who is on my husband's team, who has been with the company since March, but never done anything with it. She had 10 people show up last night. We signed 1 on the spot. 2 more should be signing shortly. 3 more are going to be preferred customers. It was just, it's the town I live in. Everybody knows that this is what I do, is plexus. Puke plexus, pretty much, on everybody. But it's just, honestly, I found this quote today when I was looking through things, working with my team and other stuff, but it says, there are choices to make in everything that you do, but in the end, remember, the choices you make you. And that's another one posted on it's written on my mirror now that I found it. So the choices that you make, you can either send a message or you can pick up the phone and you can call them so they can hear your voice. That's truly what made the difference.
That's
So,
awesome, Jeannie. I love that. And it is very true. A lot of us, I think a lot of the world we live in, it's easier for us to hide behind a computer screen.
Right.
And a lot of people hide behind their phones and they hide behind their computer screens. But my business months ago drastically changed when I started talking to people face to face and when I started getting on the phone with people, because you're exactly right. We're passionate about these products. We're passionate about the business, but you cannot ever get that across in a Facebook message. No one can read that. So, I mean, you can try. You can definitely, try your best, but there is nothing that beats a phone call or a face-to-face meeting with someone. So I appreciate that, and I love it. I'm excited for what all's happening for your business, because it's been pretty exciting to watch. So. Thank you. I appreciate that, Jeannie.
you.
Yeah. All right. Amber, do we have anything else in this little impromptu meeting we've decided to have? You're muted, Amber.
Hey. I haven't texted this friend yet, but I don't think she'll kill me for doing this. We're going to close out here. Sabrina, would you mind closing us in a word of prayer? Sabrina went silver this month, y'all. Woohoo! I was so excited for her. I got the email. Jonathan and I were at his best friend's house there for dinner, and I got an email that Sabrina got an ambassador, and I knew it was her third one. And I mean, I started to get teary. I was so excited. So Sabrina, we are so proud of you, and I am so blessed by you that you're on this team. If you have anything you want to add, and then close us in prayer.
Well, I just want to thank you all for the testimonies and the inspiration. I do want to grow my team, and I do have a lot of goals that I would like to reach. So I just want to thank you all for all of the wonderful advice that you gave tonight, and appreciate the time that you put into it, and being willing to help the rest of us. Just thank you for that. So let's go to the Lord in prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for this time that we have together. Lord, I thank you so much for each one of these lives that are represented here today, for Plexus, and most importantly for you. Lord, I pray that you'll touch our lives and help us in our businesses, help us to grow, help us to be able to help others. And Lord, I just pray that you will also strengthen us as Christians, as your children. And Lord, help us to always be willing to help each other and to lift each other up. And thank you so much for everything that you're going to do for us. And we thank you for everything you've already done. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Y'all have a Plexi 4th of July with your families. As you're sitting around stuffing your face with the barbecue, you can talk to them about Plexus.
I was going to say, this is an excellent time. You're going to be with friends and family. Let them hear your passion. And have fun, too. Bye.